Welcome. Thanks for joining me on my new YouTube channel, Big G's Backyard Motorcycle Restoration. I'm Glenn, otherwise known as Big G. And I might as well show you why you're here. And it's this guy here. This is a 1976 Yamaha XS650. I purchased this a week ago on February 14th, 2026, off of Facebook Marketplace for $500. Now, I purchased this from the daughter of the original owner who used this motorcycle exclusively. And again, you can see that he put 38,650 miles on this motorcycle, which is substantial. And I bought it partially because, well, I'm new to motorcycling. I wanted to get one of these old 70s Japanese motorcycles with a standard layout, you know, similar to the British bikes of the 60s. And this one seemed to be all there, except for these side covers. It is not a special 650. Those came out a few years later, but I found some on eBay and have ordered them. So I'll put those original side covers on it so they'll match the tank. $650. I knew that it had not run in a number of years. It's part of the reason why I valued it at level. But I think for $500, it's not so bad. Obviously, it has quite a bit of rust on the outside in different places. Part of that is that it's a 50-year-old motorcycle. Part of it is that the bike came from just outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey. So that salty air was bound to have a negative effect on the finish. But it's mostly cosmetic. What I've found so far is that there doesn't seem to be any rust through on the pipes. A little bit dinged up. And that's on either side. I mean, definitely some surface rust on the outside, but that's okay. It seems mostly cosmetic. Now, I didn't really know about the condition of the tank or the engine or any of those things. It does have a key. Original Yamaha key. So you'd be able to open up this tank, and tank looks unlined, but also pretty clear. Now, there seems to be a bit of rust inside the tank, so it's going to need to be cleaned out with the gas cap. It's okay. It's very much an original bike. I like that it had this rack on the back. Chain guard is there. Helmet hanger. And then let's pop the seat. Lo and behold, original owner's manual. Looks like. This guy left things in pretty good condition for me. Battery box is empty, which is great. He did not leave it in there to corrode. Got all sorts of original documentation here. Got I guess it had some sort of screen at one time, but I've got service records from, let's see, 1987, 1985, and going way back. So that's great. Service records that he wrote in the little book here. Okay, I don't want to give away the gentleman's name, but there's an envelope here with more information that I'll go through later. It's got all the original specs. Another cool thing I found was that it's got an old inspection sticker from 1990, which may have been the last time it was registered, but also Department of Defense registration. So the gentleman who owned this was in the Air Force, according to his daughter, and she said that this was the bike that he would ride when he was stationed at a new place, and he would use this bike to travel to that new posting, which probably explains why it's got the bags on the back, luggage rack. This was his touring bike. He had other motorcycles, but this was the one that he would ride across the country. 654 cc engine, pretty substantial bike, and it was a little over 400 pounds dry, before adding the rack and screen or other fairing he may have had. Got the highway crash bars on it. This was a cherished bike in that family for 50 years, and my goal is to get it back on the road. And this is going to be a learning experience for me. Again, it's my first motorcycle. I do have a 2004 Vespa ET2 that you'll see it in future videos. But, that's, a twist and go machine. Obviously, this is a traditional motorcycle with a clutch. And, I don't really know much about it other than, I've watched videos, and my goal is to kind of use this as a project, see if I can get it running, see if I can learn how to maintain a motorcycle. And again, it's never going to be the prettiest bike. It's never going to be at any shows or competitions. I just want it to run. I want it to be able to ride it around, have some fun, and see how we might be able to get it back on the road. I'm a history teacher by profession, so I like the history of these old bikes. And when I was thinking about getting a new bike, I thought, let's see if we can get one of these old ones on the road, and see if we can do it at a reasonable price, and also maintain it in the future, because the new bikes are sort of more difficult for people to maintain. It's got a Kickstarter, but also electric start. Got a disc brake in the front. We've got the brake master cylinder there, lights, high and low, turn signals, horn. I'm going to put a battery in it soon, see if these lights show up, see if any of the signals work, or maybe we have electrical to do. Doesn't seem like we need a gas tank, which is great. And let's take this Kickstarter, see if it moves. All right. So it does move. It means engine's not completely seized up, but we'll do more of an inspection in a later video and start testing a few things out. I'm going to put some air in the tire there to make sure it doesn't sit with the wheel right on the ground, but definitely going to need some new tires. These have been on there a while. Probably every rubber thing is going to need to be replaced here. Maybe some of these cables, because a lot of this is original, and we want to make sure that it can be registered here in Maryland, and that it'll be safe. So with that, we'll see what we can do in a future video. So thank you folks for joining me here on this first episode of Big G's Backyard Motorcycle Restoration. I welcome your comments, suggestions, know that I'm not a professional and I'm not going to pretend to be. So I'm going to make some mistakes along the way. Might have to seek the advice of professionals in my local area. Might be seeking the assistance of some of you online, but we're just going to document it as we go along and hopefully learn a few things along the way, and hopefully in a few months get this motorcycle on the road. Appreciate your joining me. Also, you might be asking why it's called Big G's Backyard Motorcycle Restoration. Well, this is where the work's going to occur, somewhere here in my backyard. Might create a little concrete pad in another area to keep the bike under cover, of course, but a little place to be able to work on it. I'm hoping to put a driveway here at some point, but I'm never going to have a garage. Hopefully adding a shed back here soon, but figure there's a number of people like me who don't have garages where they live and may want to work on motorcycles and think, well, maybe they can't because they don't have the proper setup. We're going to try to test that and see if we can do this work outside in the light of day. So let me know if this is something you've done before too, and any tips or tricks that you have for making that work.